In just 7 days, I generated my client Owen over 70 leads and boosted his account reach by over 1,000%. In 7 days, not 7 weeks, not 7 months, 7 days. This wasn't from buying expensive, crazy equipment. This wasn't from boosting posts. Now, here's the thing. When Owen came to me, he wasn't posting consistently and his content just looked like everyone else's. You know, just the usual barber that's posting their final results, haircuts, whatever. So if you're a barber in a similar position to Owen, who's just posting their final results and wondering why they aren't growing the way they want to, I'm gonna break down for you exactly why that is, and more importantly, how to fix that. So here's the exact 3-step system that I used to transform Owen's page in just 7 days. Step 1, and this is where most business owners go wrong, having a clear brand direction. People will just post whatever and just want views. They don't actually know who they want to view their posts. Think about that for a second. Are you posting to just gain views, or are you posting to gain views from a certain audience? That's the mindset shift that you need to have when starting to build your personal brand. We're not trying to attract everyone, because if you're speaking to everyone, you're speaking to no one. When I first looked at Owen's page, I couldn't tell who his ideal client was. I didn't know what message he was trying to convey through his content, or why I should pick him over the millions of other barbers that I could choose from. So I fixed these 3 things for him immediately. We became crystal clear on who we were targeting through our content. We defined who his ideal client was, their lifestyle, their personality, what would they connect with. Then we understood the message we were trying to convey through our content. Now every post that we put out aligns with that identity. And probably the most important thing that we changed for him up front was actually constructing a unique angle for his content, because there are millions of other barbers that he's competing with realistically online. Social media, it's worldwide. We're not just thinking in his city. We're thinking we're competing with everyone worldwide. So how do we separate ourselves from everyone else? We create something that's unique, and we don't need to be reinventing the wheel here. Showing your personality and showing what's unique to you, because at the end of the day, there's only one of you. There's millions of people in your industry providing the same service as you, but there's only one of you that's providing that service. But guess what? Your content doesn't show that, because you're posting the same things as millions of other people. So how would you expect someone to differentiate you from the others? And the moment that we implemented this, Owen's content stopped being just haircuts. It started being something that people could relate to, and became a vessel to actually connect with Owen without even meeting him. And that's gonna lay down the foundation for a thriving personal brand. Now, step 2 is where the growth actually happens. Intentional content, being intentional with what we actually put out onto your page. We're not just guessing, because most business owners right now are just posting randomly, and they wonder why they don't see results. So we built Owen a system around only 3 pillars of content. We got Owen sharing his story, his journey, and why he actually began starting barbering, which just gives his audience something to invest into other than his service. They want to know what's next for Owen, not just what his next haircut is going to be that he's going to post. Because I can guarantee you, if you're just posting your haircuts right now, no one is thinking, oh my gosh, I can't wait for him to post another haircut video. No one's thinking that right now, and that's the harsh truth. But it is a known fact that people connect with stories and personal journeys way more than they do with products and services. Then once you start showing off what's unique to you through your personal experiences and your journey, we go on to pillar 2, which is authority content. By now, we've attracted our ideal audience in, but now it's time to nurture. A concern that gets raised really often with me is people come to me saying, I post all these skits and humorous videos that get all these millions of views, and then I follow up that comment and statement with, okay, how many clients did you receive from that? It doesn't matter if they got 500,000, 1 million, 2 million views, I always get the same answers. And the answer is not as much as I'd hope, none at all, or a couple. Now really think about that. If the best case scenario for getting 1 million views is 2 clients, do you really think that piece of content really served a purpose? Do you really think that connected with anyone? 1 million views for 2 clients? No. No is the answer to that. If we can get you 1,000 views, only 1,000 views, but speak to 500 of those people, 500 people that are spoken to directly and gonna be nurtured by your future content, could turn into 500 clients, 400 clients, even down to 100 clients worst case scenario. From 1,000 views if we're posting with intention. And this for Owen was sharing his client consultations, which is obviously a very pivotal point in the barbering experience, actually listening to your clients and understanding their problems and then in turn solving them. And then once Owen solved a problem for his client in his content, people in his audience had that same problem and said, okay, Owen has solved this problem for the guy in the video. He now can solve the problem for me. I trust him to do that. And they walked into his shop and he solved that problem for them. And not only did he solve the problem for them, that's another client gained. And it's as simple as that. Building connection always wins. So by now we've shared your story, we've shared your personal experiences, we've positioned you as an authority and someone that people can trust. So how do we take it to that next level? We provide your audience with value. This is gonna help position you as the expert, and that's exactly what we did for Owen. Giving his audience advice, tips, knowledge. And the main barrier that I usually see that holds people back from actually providing their audience with knowledge is them having self-doubt. But you have to understand, even if you're as short as 1 year or 1 month into your journey, you gotta ask yourself, what didn't you know at the start of your journey that you know now? Because I guarantee you, there's gonna be someone out there that is at the start of their journey that will actually take on what you have to offer and the advice you have to say. That's actually gonna benefit them to get to where you are quicker. And once we provide our audience with that value, you're seen as an expert in your field. You're no longer just a barber that cuts hair, a faceless barber that cuts hair that just shows their end product. You're now an authority figure that people can trust, not only with their hair, but with their next steps in their own career, because they're taking on your advice that you've learned through your personal experience. It's not just you researching what's the next step for a barber, what's the next step for a real estate agent, whatever line of business you're in, it's not about that. It's just about sharing what you've learned through your journey. And then when you combine these 3 pillars of content, people aren't just watching your videos anymore. And the attention that you build actually converts into clients every time. This third and final step to building your personal brand is what separates people that stay stuck and the people that grow. And that is tracking and optimizing their posts. Because most people just chuck up random content and hope it works. Hope that someone will like it. Hope that it just goes viral. And I will say from experience, it does not work. Growing up something and hoping that it sticks doesn't work. So what we did with Owen is we tracked what was resonating with his audience the most, and more importantly, what wasn't. And that's how we scaled his reach so fast in only 7 days. We're not guessing, we're just refining our system. So that is the simple system that I use to transform Owen's business in only 7 days. And the crazy part about all of this is it's not complicated at all. So if you run a business and you're in a similar position to Owen, you don't need to post more, you just need to start posting with intention. But if you still require that one-on-one help to build this system out for your business, book a call with me in the description below, or if you have any other questions, DM me on Instagram, because you see it's possible now to get these results in a short amount of time. You can do it too, I can assure you that. So let's get started today.